And now, weighing in out of the blue corner, Josh the Punk Thompson. 100%. And on the other mic, he weighs in from the red corner, Big John McCarthy.
Oh my Lord, look out. It is another edition of the Weighing In podcast. We are ready to go. What? Josh?
Hashtag and still, baby. Hashtag and still.
Baby. There you go. And still hanging in, just being special. How was your weekend? You went partying.
Yeah, it wasn't. John, this is what I realized. When you get to like at this age now,
here it comes.
We were in bed by 11:30. What happened was we had a really nice dinner. Yeah.
Stop. Hold on. John, you were at a bachelor party.
Yeah.
And you were in bed by 11:30. You didn't even make it to the next night. You didn't make it past midnight.
No. John, I wouldn't even say I was in bed by 11:30. John, I was asleep by 11:30. I wasn't just in bed. I was knocked out. I was like this.
When did you start?
It was.
If you started at 9 a.m., I'll kind of give it to you.
Yeah, we did because I landed, I think, like around 10:30 I landed. So we started there because we couldn't check into our Airbnb until 4, but we went in early anyways at like 2. But so we started a little early. We kind of had some drinks at the airport, San Diego airport. There's a little bar right outside where you get your bags. So we just stopped there, got some drinks, got a little bit of food. Then we kind of drove around, grabbed the Uber, and they drove us all around, the beach, hit a couple little spots. Then we get a couple more drinks. I mean, it was pretty chill. I mean, it wasn't we didn't go all out. It was just one of those things where, he's pushing 50, or he is 50, I think now. He's 50 now, and he's getting married for the first time.
You're pushing 50 too, dude.
Yes, I am, buddy. But no, I'm just laughing because I go, bro, bachelor parties are for people in their 20s and their 30s. This is not for 50-year-olds, man. You picked you're not supposed to be getting, having your bachelor parties at 50 years old. But we had a great time, man. It was good. Friday was a little slower pace. We had a good dinner at STK down in San Diego. It was nice. The steak was actually pretty damn good. Got a small, I can't remember what it was called, but a small little
Gaslight District.
Small little cut. Yeah, it was right. It was right in the Gaslight District. Yeah, it was nice. It was cool, man. We had a good time. It was good. Chill. Saturday was a little bit more tempo. One of his other guys came in on Saturday because he couldn't get out of Vegas in time on Friday. So it was good. It was chill. We went to this place. It was called Happy Head Massage or something like that.
Which head?
So we went and got.
Well,
yes, exactly. So I took a photo of all of us in front of the massage place and sent it to his wife. And she was there. It was a co-ed, so they had the girls were off doing their thing and the guys were off doing our thing, and it was cool. It was good to get out. It was fucking freezing there.
San Diego.
Everything it was cold. It was like, it was like, it was like in the high 70s.
Look at you.
And then at night, it was cold.
You're all Texas made now, man. You can handle the heat. You need the heat.
I actually kind of felt kind of good to get off the plane and be like, fuck, it's warm. Thank gosh. Man, jeez. But John, man, it was, I was watching the fights, between drinks here and there in every little bar we had. And then I also went back through and watched a couple of other ones on my phone on the airplane today. And there was a couple fights that really stood out to me. The card was a so-so card, but there was a couple
of just what do you call? I call them snobber blockers. Just
snobber
guys,
slobber knockers,
snobber blocker, whatever, snobber knocker, whatever it is. Yeah, can't even say it right, but yeah, ones where the snot's coming out of the nose and the spit's flying everywhere. Those are the ones that you. It's kind of disgusting if you're a referee because you get hit a lot with it. You go, that's awesome because man, guys are just getting whacked. We'll talk about the ones that you thought were and the ones that I thought were, but there was some really outstanding performances by a couple of people. A couple of fights didn't really hash out the way you think, but Tom Aspinall looked fantastic coming off, and it was kind of funny because you had mentioned the first thing when he came out and he threw a kick and he threw a hard kick.
Yeah.
And I was like, ooh, Tom Aspinall's been listening to Josh Thompson.
All the great minds do, buddy. What can I say? I don't want to
there
toot my own horn, but hey.
because Yeah, he threw that, and it was like, yep, I'm back in this.
Yeah.
And it was like, all right.
Yeah.
And he looked fantastic.
Well, before we get started on this card and we talk about the main event, let's go to onlyfans.com/weighing-in. Subscribe to us over there. It is free. We want to thank you guys for following us. We've got quite a few subscribers now. I think we're pushing about 500, which is nice. Like I said, we're the first podcast they've ever worked with and sponsored. And we're looking to bring over some more fighters to their platform, man, and make some money. That's what everyone's doing right now. It's been fantastic. They're doing a great job trying to get into the MMA market. And I think it's a perfect opportunity for these fighters to make a little extra cash. We are back. We had a little break and a pause, but we're just gonna go right into this, man. We had the Aspinall versus Marcin Tybura fight. John, is it what you expected? Is it what you expected from Tom Aspinall on his return? Is it what you expected from him on the feet against someone like Tybura?
You say, is it what I expected? Yeah. No. Is it what I wanted to see? Yeah. Mm-hmm. I wanted to see him come out and not have any kind of hesitation. Like, I'm coming off an injury, anything like that. And you had talked about it. You would say, man, he's got to go out there and, you know what? Throw a hard kick, man. Land a hard kick and know that knee is going to be good. First thing he did, man, he went out there, wham! And then he threw a couple of them. And, I mean, you could see right away. Tybura, who is a good fighter, I really respect his skills. And, you know, he's never that guy that is starts out and just overpowers people. He's the guy that he kind of accepts a lot and just starts wearing people down, and then he takes over in the fight. He was never able to even get on track with Aspinall. Aspinall just took over, you know, hit him with big, heavy shots that had him hesitating. And then, you know, just the series that put Tybura down, and you look at it, throwing the elbow the way he did, getting in close, throwing that really nice elbow, and then the right hand right through the gap. I mean, hey, he looked fantastic. He looked like the guy that everyone expected, you know, a year ago. And he's, you know, sitting there saying, look, I'm completely different. I'm way better than I used to be. And off of that performance, you can't say he's full of shit. He looked great. He looked just absolutely dominant.
When I look
then he went and he did, you know, that little comment at the end.
Yeah.
You know, I want the winner of Cyril Gahn
and Spivak.
Yeah,
the winner of that fight.
And then whoever wins that, then I want the winner of John Jones and Stipe. Wow.
Got it all laid out, man. He's got a goal and he's looking to accomplish it. I also look at I take a look at a lot. I know I bring myself up a lot in these type of situations, but because I've been through this. I was on a rise, feeling really good, tore my shoulder, then ended up fighting Gilbert on my first fight back to win the title. That feeling, though, is that you feel like you're on a roll. The motivation to get back faster, to do the condition, to do the therapy, to make sure that it's 100%, to make sure you're strengthening. I would lay in bed just strengthening my shoulder with like a little, you know, in the real way. But I would say I would use the bands, but I would just.
Well, you were using something.
You know. But I was doing all different types of exercise. Yeah, all different types of exercises, you know, to strengthen my shoulder. And I feel like he left on such a high note on terms of like he knew what his level was. He knew that there was the potential of him getting to that title. He knows that the money fight is in John Jones. If John Jones leaves before he gets there, there's no money fight. He's not getting that he's not going to be able to ask for that extra money. I mean, he will a little bit because he's doing so well. He's such a marketable face, especially in the UK market. But I really believe that he understands and he knows that he's got to get there before John Jones walks out. And I think it makes it look, and I know John is John, but it's just, I like to see the confidence in someone like this. He walks around a little swagger in him. He was in that cage with a little bit of that swagger. And you could tell he was eager. He was eager to get back into the cage. You could tell he did all of his work in terms of his footwork. Just because of his knee was hurt, he looked good with the hands. I mean, he could have been just standing in one spot, working on his side to side shoulder movement. He was moving his head offline. He tends to leave his chin a little high in the air. You got to be careful when you do get to guys like Jones or the other big heavyweight Russian that was at AK for a while. No, Sandhagen also him. Pavlovich. When you get to those guys can crack and they're very accurate with their strikes. And so you can't afford to leave your chin up in the air like that. But look, those are little details that he can get fixed And sometimes fighters just have that way about them. Though that's how they relax out there. That's how they stay, light on their toes. That's how they try to roll with the punches. I thought he looked fantastic. He made Tybura look like he didn't belong in there, which he didn't belong in there with him. He was light on the feet. When we talked last week, I said, Tybura, I think, is going to have a little bit of the edge on the feet, but I wanted to see how much of the speed difference was. And that speed difference was huge. You could see that Tybura just had no answer. He was like basically the Chris Tucker. Which one of y'all hit me? Didn't know where the punches were coming from. Man, like I said this, I don't know how many times. I've got high hopes for Tom Aspinall. I love watching him fight. He's going to be a fun fighter to watch progress over the years. I also think, though, that Tom Aspinall, and I know I can't compare Tybura with Cyril Gahn, but that Tom Aspinall, I think he beats Cyril Gahn. On the feet, it's going to be, I think Gahn's going to have the advantage. But I think the speed of which Aspinall is able to mix that up and then mix it in with the wrestling and leaps and bounds better than Cyril Gahn on the ground. Leaps and bounds.
No doubt.
And so it's look, if you can nullify the stand-up enough to get into those clinches and really try to hang on Cyril Gahn and really try to make him work and defend the takedowns will start to come a little bit more easily. And if he's able to do that, the submission game, the control, the striking on the feet will start to open up. And I know that's down the line, but the way he made it out to be, I'm going to be there front row at that fight because I want to fight the winner. Man, I mean, he's got goals and he's setting them and he's let the UFC know this is my plan. And hopefully you guys are following along. And that's refreshing to hear from a fighter.
Oh, yes.
It's refreshing.
Yeah.
This is what my game plan is. This is what I'm set out to do. And now all the focus now, next time he steps in the cage or every time we see him, he's there because he wants to see who the winner of this fight is. He wants to know if that's the person he's fighting next. That's why he's there. Like it all makes sense. He's a man with a bright future. Looking forward to it.
The man with a plan.
Yes.
And he's putting it out there. It was a super impressive performance. 73 seconds, I want to say overall, but I mean, just crazy how dominant those 73 seconds were against a guy that we've seen is a good heavyweight fighter. He's a solid heavyweight fighter. So, nothing against Marcin Tybura. He's a hell of a fighter. Just was out of his league with Aspinall in that fight. So, all right, we had Julia
John, but John, I've got 2 kids by being dominant for 73 seconds. Okay. 2 babies by the head, baby. You got 2 babies by the head.
Is that 73 seconds all in or 73 seconds each?
All in, brother. All in. That's all in. That's from getting the clothes off to get. It's the whole thing. Whole kid caboodle, buddy.
That was also wiping off the sweat.
Thanks.
All right, next fight, man.
All right, we had Julia Stolarenko. I'm horrible with her name. Taking on Molly McCann. That was a fight that I thought was set up for Molly to shine in. Man, I'll tell you what, Julia just came out there and had confidence in her ground, and when it hit the ground, she went after that arm. But you could see what she was trying to, set up, and she did. There was mistakes made by Molly. You could see that, helped with making that thing become a reality. But, hey, this is someone when you look and, going to the flyweight division, taking on someone in their hometown, that's a tough fight. She said she wanted to silence the crowd. She did just that.
Yeah, I think that Stolarenko, she looked good. I thought she looked great on the feet. She was having some good exchanges. Once the fight hit the ground, there's just different levels. The exchanges, the roll, like the way Molly tried to defend, your cage awareness needs to be more intact. You're face down. Her opponent's got the face down armbar, and you decided to roll through instead of like pushing the foot down, maybe stepping over the body and just laying flat on top of them to keep them down. Little details like that. And then the roll through where she rolled through all the way to the fence. There was just, even if she wanted to roll all the way through, she wasn't going to be able to. So that's just has to do with cage awareness and where you're at. She made a mistake. It cost her the fight. But Molly will be back, man. She's one of those fighters that she's got a big following, over in the UK. She's going to continue to have a big following. She's got the great personality. She's fun to be around. She's a ray of sunshine, man. She's awesome. But I think the night
She's
belonged to
positive.
Yeah, she's always positive. And then the night belonged to Stoliarenko, man. She fought a great fight. She was smart, smooth, put pressure on Molly. I think Molly thought she was gonna be the one coming out putting the pressure, making her fight on her back foot. And Stoliarenko came out and made her fight on her back foot. She looked very uncomfortable right off the bat, Molly did. And
she was just throwing big, heavy shots when she was, trying to get, and it was like, take your time. You got lots of time in the fight here. First round. So, but just happens. It's like you said, she'll come back. But I thought it was a very nice and a big win for Stoliarenko.
Got it. Next fight.
I love this fight. Nathaniel Wood against Andre Fili. We had watched Nathaniel Wood move from bantamweight to featherweight when in his last fight, and he fought a terrific fight. So going up against Andre Fili, I was like, look, I've seen that he's been able to fight at featherweight, but Andre Fili's long. But there was a definite disparity in speed. And that eventually became a factor in the fight. I thought that Fili with his length was using his jab well and everything, but how fast some of the shots came from Nathaniel Wood caught Fili off guard in that first round. It was a nice job of recovering from it, but Fili definitely lost the first round. Then he comes back and he hurts Wood. That was a beautiful shot. Went for the choke. Wood came out on top of it, but second round definitely went to Andre Fili, and then the third round you could take a look. I'm being honest. I thought they were right in giving Nathaniel Wood the decision. I thought he landed the heavier shots in the third round, and that was really the difference maker in that third round.
Yeah, I noticed that in the second and the third round, Fili started to open up, was having success, but then as he started to get tired, he started just going to the one punch, one jab, one hook. And then it's hard to get anything going. So anytime they also landed, Wood would kind of land on Fili, and Fili would kind of like shell up a little bit and back away. Whereas it just the speed was obviously the difference even as the fight was going on, but Fili just was missing just by enough to where it wasn't enough to get the judge's decision. I look at it though, John, like it was a close fight as the fight went on. It started to become a close fight, but I agree with you. I think Nathaniel Wood definitely deserved to win the fight. There was a couple of fights during this night that were super close.
Oh, absolutely. Ones that you could look at and people go, oh, the one between Jai Herbert and Fares Ziam. I mean, that could have gone either way. There was moments that Herbert was fantastic, moments that Ziam was fantastic. So close. You can't sit there and complain. If you're going to sit there and say, oh, I got robbed. No, you didn't get robbed. It was goddamn so close. I thought that Nathaniel Wood squeaked it by, but I know Fili was upset by it, but it was really super fight by both guys.
Yeah. And the Scottish guy, Paul Craig.
Hey.
I got to give it to Podcast Dave. His countryman absolutely looked great at 185. He did not look depleted. He didn't look depleted at all. I looked at him at the weigh-ins, and I was like, you know what? He actually looks good. He didn't look in any way like he struggled to make that weight. And then I got to give him credit, Josh. His stand-up, although it's still a little bit stiff.
A little?
It looked way better than it did before.
Yeah.
It looked way better than it did before. He actually looked like he wasn't struggling on the feet. He was confident in his ability on the feet, and he had some good exchanges. Obviously he wants to get the fight to the ground, but against Muniz, you're looking at another guy that is good. I saw someone said that Paul Craig demonstrated he has no top game, and I'm like, have you lost your mind?
Yeah.
But
I thought he looked fantastic.
Yeah.
The striking is real stiff still. He leaves his chin. He kind of dips his head a lot to get hit with uppercuts when he punches in. But look, these are all things that it just depends on who they match him up against. He's going to get
you could see that there was improvement.
There
definitely see there was improvement in it.
How much of that improvement is because he feels like he's probably the bigger fighter now, whereas before he didn't feel like the bigger fighter. Maybe it's because he felt like those guys at 205, they seem to have a little bit more power than those guys at 185. And when I'm thinking that, like I said, John, we've talked about you think cutting weight is a bad thing. It like leads to being, kind of depleting your body going into that third, that fourth round, those type of things. But I will always continue to say the same thing when it comes to cutting weight. For me, it was a mental switch. If you get through this and you make the weight, which every time I did, it was a confidence builder. The hard part is over now. Now it's time to go out there and have fun. And I felt like it was winning that first battle. As DC used to say that. He's like, as soon as I was done making my weight, it was like winning the first battle. The first part, the battle's over. Like, and now I get into the war part and the fun part, whatever you want to call it. For me, it was fun, but it seemed like the hardest part for him in this whole thing was him wondering if he's going to make weight. And once that was lifted off of his shoulders, he walked in with a little swagger about him.
Oh, yeah, swagger. You can take a look at the weigh-ins. There was some heat between the two. And then I actually liked, at the start before the fight, they're sitting there and, they're mad dogging each other, right next to each other. Buffer's trying to do his little shtick in between, but it was like, hey, he had confidence going into the fight, and he proved it because he came out with a really nice win. That was a good, once he did get on top, the elbows that he landed were heavy. You can take a look at Muniz. He had some beautiful eggs on his forehead from those. So, they landed with power. So it was a really nice win for Paul Craig. I was very impressed. He absolutely proved me wrong in that he was well set up to make that 185 pounds.
Got it.
About time.
All right, next.
Fares Ziam against Jai Herbert. We kind of, just broached on this fight. I really like Jai Herbert and his stand-up, and Ziam did a great job with his. These guys matched up incredibly well. And the one difference that I want to say, every time Jai Herbert went for the takedown, it always looked like he ended up in the worst position. He always ended up, he got, I don't want to say out-muscled, but he got out-leveraged by someone putting their hands in the proper position, getting the underhook the right way, giving a little bit of a lean on the leg, almost a knee tap at times. He lost those clinch situations that I think in the end was the difference in the fight.
I could see why you think that way. I could see making a good point that way. But I also look at it though too as almost as if like he doesn't believe in himself sometimes, John, when he fights. Like I saw this fight was he had moments on the feet, but then he would back out of it after he landed a shot. It was almost like either admiring his work or being afraid of, I landed the shot, the guy's going to hit me right back, so let me get out. He wasn't chaining things together very well. And he's a way better striker than he showed. And I don't know if the focus was to try to get the takedown or if he felt the power of, how do you say his last name? Ziam, yeah. If he felt the power of him, I don't know. I don't know what it was, but for some reason, threatening the takedown is one thing, but forcing it to the point where you're leaving yourself out of position is just not high fight IQ. And so I don't understand what the thought process was behind it and the coaches in the corner and all these things. I understand threatening the takedowns. I've always said that. I always think every fighter should threaten takedowns, especially when you're fighting a good kickboxer, which Ziam is. Like I would have threatened him as well, but he just was forcing it so much, like you said, leaving it, and it ended up getting the shit end of the stick on most of those exchanges. So when I look at this fight, it was a very close fight, but I saw all the defensive positions from Ziam is actually what led up to him winning, because that really just kind of stole the confidence of Jai Herbert, and it just didn't look good in terms of the judges. Like, hey, every time you try to get the takedown, didn't get it. Then on top of it, I would end up in a better position, or I ended up getting space and making away. And I also thought that Ziam, off of a lot of the breaks, had landed some great elbows. Every time they got out of the break, anytime they started to get out of the clinch and they broke, Ziam landed some big elbows or a big shot coming out, and that's the last thing the judges remember in terms of that exchange. So I thought the judges got it right.
Yep. All right, we had Lerone Murphy against Joshua Kuliabao, who I've really enjoyed watching fight because he's one of those guys no one gives enough credit to. He is a very good stand-up fighter, tough guy, and we know how physically athletic Murphy is, and I think that was just possibly the difference in this. Murphy had moments where just the speed and the accuracy. And then he was able to get a hold of Culibao, take him to the ground, get his back, and just make him work out of his comfort zone and just slowly, systematically start to dismantle him. And I thought Murphy did a great job of showing, you know what, he's not just this athletic guy that's got striking. He's got good grappling. He understands how to get that position. He understands how to maintain the position. He went for, taking the back a couple of times that didn't work for him and stuff, and he needs to figure out a couple things to do with his hands as far as getting his hands free. But he really looked good.
John, I feel like maybe something was wrong with Culibao, or the conditioning wasn't as on point as it normally is. Something was, and I'm not trying to take anything away from Murphy. I thought Murphy fought a great fight. I thought Culibao had moments where he could have started to separate himself from winning the fight, and he just didn't do it. Felt like he started getting tired. Felt like maybe he was getting muscled around. Maybe you're right. Maybe the athleticism and the strength got to him a little bit. Because Culibao is one of those guys, when you look at him, he doesn't look the part as a fighter. I'd be like, yeah, I'd whoop that dude's ass if we were out in the street. Right? I'd be like,
tough dude.
I'll smash that kid. Yeah, this kid can fight. He's very good. He's very good on the feet. Yeah. He's got good takedown defense. It just seemed like something was off. And even his coaches and his corners were kind of asking him, "Are you okay? Is something wrong? Is your hand bothering you? Is your back bothering you? What's going on?" No answers. No response. Not one time did he respond to them. So I don't know. Maybe we're gonna get a report that he broke his hand, or he tweaked his knee or something. I don't know. Something along. I feel like there's something there because he looked exhausted at the end of that fight. And I've seen him fight a lot harder, in other fights. But that it really does come down to who you're fighting, though, in those situations.
It does.
You can fight really hard if you're the one dictating the dance. You don't get as tired as when you're not dictating the dance. And so this was a situation where Murphy was. I felt like you said, putting the pressure, having the physical strengths and the attributes to really kind of frustrate Culibao and make him fatigue. Because then he just started shutting down, and then that's when Murphy was able to start running away with it. So good for him, buddy.
Yeah.
Good for him. Good fight.
Yeah. Still undefeated. Yeah. Daniel Marcos against Davey Grant. This is a fight that I'm being honest. I thought Davey Grant won the fight. I thought it was a close fight. I thought they both had their times, but I thought that Davey Grant there's no doubt he was the aggressor. He just landed. He threw more and landed more. And you take a look, neither guy actually damaged the other one. You can talk about the cut on the nose or something like that. That's no big deal. That's not, a lot of damage. Neither guy did anything that was, that's easily giving him the round. And so I look and I go, in my mind, I thought Davey Grant did enough in that fight to take it, but it was a split decision the other way to Daniel Marcos.
John, here, scroll back up a little bit there, Dave, for me, please. Yeah, right there. That's good. No, back. We're just a tiny bit. Yeah, jeez, it's not the whole card. Come on, buddy. Look, to go on with Herbert and Zion, and then Murphy and Culibao, and then Marcos and Grant, all three of those fighters, all three of them.
Six.
You all had moments to win that fight.
6 of those fighters.
Yeah, 6 of those fighters. So all 3 of those fights. All 6 of those fighters, you guys had moments to win that fight and run away with it. And you chose not to. You chose to play it safe. And here's the thing. I'm not trying to say how, hey, you got to go out there and be Michael Chandler's, and fight stupid. I'm just simply saying that.
We'll talk about that fight.
But, which is next, actually. But but the biggest thing is the UFC's they're tallying this up. You had opportunities to win. You had opportunities to push the pace. You knew the fight was close in the 3rd round, and you didn't take any chances. You didn't do anything spectacular. You didn't try to do anything to really steal it from the judges. They keep that shit in their database, and then you're going to end up like Caitlin Vieira on being the 2nd fight of the night on the card, or the 3rd fight or 4th fight, whatever she was. Yeah. You go from being the number 4 ranked fighter to where they're not happy with you anymore because you're not showing out and getting finishes like you should be, or at least pushing the pace and the action. Then you're going to end up being lower on the totem pole. You're going to be 1st, 2nd, 3rd fight of the prelims. You'll be on the prelims of the undercard. Okay,
that's how bad it will get. Fighting your way onto the main card. That's it.
Exactly. So you guys can't, especially when this is a card that's not stacked with a bunch of big names. This was your opportunity to shine and say, hey, you know what? They brought a lot of action that now I can say, you know what? I'm going to probably put them, is in the main event on the prelims or the co-main event on the prelims, or maybe even the opening fight on the main card. You never know. But all 6 of those fighters, you guys got to come up with an answer, buddy, because something wasn't there for you guys. You guys fought great fights. Like you guys fought good, but you got to do that little extra because you don't want to leave it in the judges. That's really what it comes down to. And like I said, the UFC's tallying that up in their mind, going, okay, that one time he fought that guy, he didn't really do anything. Next fight, maybe we'll put him a little bit lower. That's what they're thinking. Matchmakers think that way. But let me just tell you, this next fight, Johnny Parsons,
This is what they're looking for.
Danny Roberts, this is what they're looking for.
This is what they're looking for. I'll tell you what, that was it was absolutely action-packed. They were going after it. Danny Roberts, that's what I was talking to you off. I said Danny Roberts had to have a conversation with Michael Chandler because he did not care about any kind of defense. It was, I'm going out and I'm going to sling and I'm going to put everything on the line and I'm going to stand there and take shots. And if I end up going down, I go down. Well, that's in the end. That's what happened. Johnny Parsons put him down. It kind of looked like Danny Roberts was a little upset with the stoppage. It's like, you can't be upset with that, dude. You were hurt. You could see that you were hurt. You were taking shots, and all of a sudden you were just in a cover-up position. And after the damage that you had already accepted, they're going to stop the fight. So,
yeah.
I mean, all you can say is, hey, thank you very much to both of you. You put on one hell of a performance. You both got hurt. You both went after it. You both were just fucking dogs in that. I mean, just savages as far as the way they went about the fight. I've just seen Danny Roberts be a lot more intelligent as a fighter than what I saw him in that one. But goddamn, dude, big balls and great performance as far as it was fun to watch.
Well, Danny won the first round, and he was winning the It wasn't winning this round, but it was a close round back and forth.
But it was close.
And then Parsons dropped him in one of the exchanges. Then also hit him with a couple big shots that kind of wobbled him a little bit, and then he finally finished him and put him away at the end. But Johnny Parsons reminds me of Joe Dirt. I don't know what it is, something about it, the mullet, all the stuff, but I mean, he reminded me of Joe Dirt. And to see him come out there and just, in the first round, he just kind of covered up, shelled up a little bit, let Roberts use a lot of his energy. And as you saw the fight going on, Roberts became more hittable. And then he was starting to load up too as he got a little bit more tired because he was trying to get those punches and those strikes there faster and harder as the fight went on. And that ultimately led to him getting clipped and sat to his ass. And so when you start to get tired and you start loading up more, you start opening up more, your opponent starts seeing you squat down, open the hand a little bit more, shoulder opens up, and now I can see when the punches are coming. And that's exactly what Parsons was doing. He was letting him get off in the first round, but he knew that Roberts was going to slow down in that second round, start making some mistakes, because Parsons, man, would stay tight with his defense, stay tight with his combinations. I mean, there was one shot he got hit that he dropped Roberts with or rocked Roberts with. I was like, what did he hit him with? I had to go back and rewind it 2 or 3 times. Like,
I was going to say, look at his counter strikes were really clean. And and he had a variety too. He didn't just hit him with the hands. He was throwing knees inside. He did a lot of nice little things that, it was keeping Danny, Roberts guessing on what was coming. So, Johnny Parsons, he's got a full toolbox, man. He understands how to fight, and man, he did a great job of making Danny work past that comfort zone. And then once he got hurt, it was trouble.
Johnny Parsons, know them guys, man, like Coolabah, man. I'd be like, man, I'll fuck that dude up. Yeah, right. That guy's got a beard on him too. Cause look, I can't just give it all. Yeah. Roberts landed some clean, hard shots in some of those exchanges. And Parsons, you could tell it kind of hurt him a little bit because he took a couple steps back. He got
stung.
And yeah, it was a good fight, man. It was good. Both of them made some mistakes, but both of them had some good, nice, hard, clean shots that landed. They took them like champs, and but let me ask you this though, John. Let's see. 3 seconds left in the second round. The refs don't even pay attention to that. I know we've had this conversation multiple times, but he was covered up. He was kind of still defending himself a little bit when the ref stopped it. Seconds? Really? Give him that time?
What position was he in?
I think he was on all fours, right?
He was on all fours. Okay. Take a look at what happened. He was stiff-legged. He was doing the stanky dance for a little bit there, right? And then he ends up getting sat down with a hard shot, and he rolls over, right, and takes a big shot as Parsons comes down on him, and then just takes his hand and starts to cover up, and that's why they're not thinking about the time at that point. They know there's little, but you take a look and you sit there and you go, how many shots can someone land in 3 seconds of time?
Yeah.
Well, I can guarantee you they can land a lot. So
yeah,
I can understand.
There was a guy that was on Twitter, and he was talking some smack about Jason Herzog, something to do with like letting Molly McCann
that was
barred.
Yeah, about not stopping it.
Not stopping it fast enough. And I was like, it's a big problem when you got people on social media calling out refs like that over something that happens in a split second. And even Herzog is like, look, I was trying to get circle back around to my spot that I need to be in. He's like, I didn't expect her to roll through, and she did. And
what happens is you're standing exactly where you need to be, and then the fighter does something that you don't expect them to do. It's something you're thinking that's not the way that you want to move, but the fighter does it, so you back out, and all of a sudden the fighter's tapping, and you're coming in and you're late. You know?
Yeah, because he had to stand up and he had to circle around to the other side because she rolled through, and by then she was already tapping. And I said, the thing is, in those scenarios, those situations, it's a split second. Molly's arm's going to be a little sore probably, but she'll be all right. But we gotta stop calling out the refs for situations like that. Now, if it was if you say, remember the guy from San Antonio where the guy was choked out for 3 minutes? Okay, where are you guys at? Where are you guys at? You know what I mean? Like,
what's your job?
You're calling out one of the best refs, if not the best ref in the game right now. You know what I mean? Like, he's top 2 or 3.
The reason he's calling him out is because he could do so much better. Because he's just so good, and he, just put him in there. Let me show you. I used to, it's great because I used to, when I would teach class, I would, take guys and put them in with real fighters, and tell the fighters what I wanted them to do. And what fouls I wanted them to commit and everything. And I would always start off the class with, hey, I would take one of the guys that was one of the better ones, right? And I would put everyone around the cage and have the fighters, and I would say, I want you to do this, I want you to do this, and just name off all these fouls. And when they do them, they're grabbing the shorts and they're letting them go. And then, they're just doing all these little fouls. And you're going, it was inevitable. The guy where you go, all right, time, boom, end of the round. Okay, tell me, what fouls did any fouls occur? And we just had a series of 20 fouls committed, right?
The guy's like,
nope, didn't see any. Didn't see one. I said, all right, anybody on the outside see a foul? And everyone's hands are up, and he's going, what fouls? There were no fouls. It's like, it's so easy to do.
Yeah.
It's a little bit different when you're the one in charge.
Well, because what happens is a lot of those people, they get in there and they just start watching the fight. They're not reffing the fight. They're just sitting there watching and go, wow, that was cool. Look at that armbar. Look at that transition. Look at the way he pulled guard. Look at the way he got back to his feet. They didn't see that he grabbed the fence to get his ass back to his feet. They just saw that he stood up.
All of it. It's so funny. But
I get it. John, is there any other fights on here you want to talk about?
Yeah, I want to say the Joel Alvarez versus Mark Diakase fight. That was one, if you're going to take a look. It did end. You should be the guy talking about this one because there was a head clash. You saw the head clash, and the referee called it off and said, nope, it was a legal blow. As Diakase actually put his, hand to the back of his head, and then that started the downhill cycle for Mark, and then Joel Alvarez was able to lock in the Darce choke and get the tap. But it was a definite clash of the heads. It was something that, it should have been where Diakase got some time to recover from just, and you never know, which guy is going to get hurt with a clash of heads. It could be neither one of them do. It could be just one of them. It could be both of them. But it's not an easy thing to see when you have people in motion. It's easy to see on the replays, but it's not an easy thing to see. So I understand why Daniel, the referee, missed it and stuff. But unfortunately for that one, they should have gone to a replay.
Yeah, why didn't they? I saw Jason Herzog was watching the replay. What was the conversation?
Referee has got to ask for that replay. Referee's got to ask for it.
Look, the NFL. One thing that they've started doing that I really like the NFL is they go to the ref that's in New York or wherever the fuck he's at, and they say, hey, you know what do you think? And you've got one there, and you've got one or two on the sidelines also that go in and watch the replay, and they make the right call. This is one of those situations.
Isn't it? You always hope that it's about getting it right. And what the problem is most athletic commissions or most places, the statement is going to be that the referee is the sole arbiter. That's the name that they're going to put out there, meaning that they're the only person to make a determination on how the fight ends. And if the referee wants to ask for that replay and take a look at it, he can do that. If he says, nope, I saw it and I'm good, then there will be no replay. And in that one, no replay was asked for. And that's why you had the outcome that there was, even though there was the clash of heads.
Yeah, the thing is, though, is that there should be the outside ref that has a little bit more say than if they look, there was a clash. We saw it. No, there was a clash.
Unfortunately, what did I just tell you? Sole arbiter.
Yeah, it can't be that way. Yeah, the main focus should
it has to be that way.
The main focus should always be right.
But what you're right in is the referee inside of that cage has the ability to talk to his second. There's always a secondary referee. And if that secondary referee says, hey, there was a clash of heads, you might want to look at it, something like that. This is not about, egos. This is about getting it right. You need to listen to him and go to the replay.
That's exactly what got in the way. Was the ego. Yeah. No, I saw it. I made the call already. Nope, I'm going to leave it that way.
Nope.
You're talking about people's careers, whether he gets his win money or not.
Yeah.
There's a lot going on, in that moment that you've got to get it right. And it just seemed to me the ref let his ego get in the way. And it ultimately, we don't know, but it ultimately cost Mark Tiakesi, whatever, however you say his name, his win. Yeah, Diakesi cost him his win. And not his win, but it cost him an opportunity to get a win. So it's frustrating. I think
he might not have gotten the win anyways, but
he might not have. But it's frustrating, John. It's frustrating.
Sure.
I had the very similar experience with the ref also too one time.
That dude's an asshole though.
They let the egos get in the way, man. These refs, man, they got big egos.
Wow. I'm never, ever trying to help you again.
Wow. So you made it all about you, huh? You made it all about you?
Did I try to help you? Did I try to help you?
It's so long ago, I can't recall. The CTE
I can understand
and all
that.
this other stuff.
But
overall,
that headbutt.
Yeah, probably. Still shaking the cobwebs off. All right, but hey guys, this is our mid-show read. We got onlyfans.com/weighing in. Like I said earlier, you can subscribe to us for free. We've got about 500 subscribers over there doing a little extra content. I should have done more drops this weekend on the OnlyFans account while I was in San Diego, taking in the sun, a little overcast, a little cold at night, a lot of homelessness out there, and but there's plenty of talent when you're looking around. Plenty of talent when you're looking around. San Diego does it right, man. San Diego does it right. So, but go to onlyfans.com/weighing in. We're trying to get more athletes to subscribe or put their platforms on OnlyFans because there's opportunities for them to make money. Your favorite fighter, your favorite athlete will be on OnlyFans. You can actually approach them, try to get them to send you videos based off of whatever techniques you're looking for, whether it be kickboxing, boxing, jiu-jitsu, wrestling, all of those things can be available on onlyfans.com/weighing in. But go ahead and subscribe to us over there for free. Check out your other fighters, some of your favorite fighters on there as well. So MVP's on there, Chris Cyborg's on there, AJ McKee is on there, Luke Rockhold's on there. There's other fighters on there as well. You got Paige Van Zant, she's on there. Austin Vanderford, they kind of share their own site together, which is kind of a cool little thing that they do. But check it all out. You've got Formula One Racing on there. They sponsor a lot of MMA productions, a lot of the smaller shows. Yeah. They also sponsor bare knuckle fighting. So they're really trying to get into this combat sports market. Let's try to help them do that. Head over to onlyfans.com/weighing in. Subscribe to us over there. It is free. All right, guys. What else
You
got
brought
for us
up
today?
MVP. Hold on. You brought up MVP. And did
Yes,
you
I
notice that the UFC put MVP on the tube? Did you see that? Oh, yeah.
didn't
He
see
was
that.
at the fights, and they definitely put him on the tube, which tells you what? There is an interest.
Of course there
Big
is.
time interest. And they
Of
said
course there is.
one of the big free agents out there right now, Michael Venom Page.
Is that what they said?
For all the that's what they said.
Wow.
And they're right. They're right.
I mean, he's only a shitty fighter until he signs with the UFC. Now all of a sudden he'll be number two,
Exactly.
number three
That's
in the
exactly
roster.
what I was thinking.
It's gonna
man.
be great.
I love that.
It's gonna be great. I mean, look, I hope they don't do him dirty though and just give him a straight wrestler. You know, but it is what it is.
The fight to give him. Come on, if they're gonna do it, man, you've got to
way.
put him and Stephen Thompson together would be just fucking gold. That's a fight that. Oh, how long have we talked about that fight? Saying if we could cross promotion and match things.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Yeah. One of my
So if
all-time
Michael
favorite
goes over
fights
there,
that
could happen.
Yep. I'm hoping to see him. I'm hoping to see it happen. If he does go over there, I'm hoping to see him fight Stephen Thompson for his first fight. And I think stylistically, people just don't understand how difficult he is to deal with. So his speed, his reach, all of those things are going to be a problem. So we're going to find out, though. We'll see where he ends up. Who knows? He may end up going over to PFL. He may end up going over to ONE. I think he's going to go. I honestly think he's either going to stay with Bellator, or he's going to go, or he's going to go to the UFC. One of the two.
Yeah, that's about what I agree. I would think.
Yeah,
But
I don't think he's going to go to
we'll
the
find
PFL. I don't think he's going to go. Yeah, I don't think he's going to go to PFL. I don't think he'll go to ONE. But if he does, good for him. Go where the money is, man. At 36 years old, you want to get that bag. You know, whatever the bag is the heaviest is the one that I'm taking.
That's it.
So good
There
for
you go.
him. Good for him.
What
What else you got? You got something for us right here. You got Corey Sandhagen versus Rob Font. Now that Umar Nurmagomedov, my old teammate or my teammate or my friend, is had to pull out. He posted the video already of him sparring, showing the shoulder separation. I haven't heard any words yet on whether he's going to need surgery or if he's going to need rehab. But the way that it pulled out like that, I feel like he's going to need surgery. It's probably a nice little slap tear in the labrum, something small, but it's going to take time to get that thing healed up. So you're going to have to actually have the surgery, go through the therapy, come back. So good for him, and to get him all right and get him ready to come back and hopefully fight maybe the winner of this fight or, somebody else. He'll be back in about probably, I'd say, between 4 to 6 months. I say 4 to 6 months.
Ooh.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
More,
I mean,
more
No.
than 4 months.
No. I mean, I fought Gilbert 5 months after I had my shoulder surgery. 5 months the first time we fought. So it can be done, especially with him. He's young. He's still, 26? I think he's 26, 27. He can do it.
Yeah.
Yep. I was 29, I think, when that happened. But no,
man.
this to me. What do you think of this fight, the Corey Sandhagen Rob Font fight?
Everybody I know that ever works out with Corey Sandhagen goes, he's a lot fucking faster than I thought. So, I think that Rob's gonna be? I don't think Rob's faster. I'm not saying that he's slower, but he's not faster. And Sandhagen is exactly what you're saying. I think as things start to build up, almost like what happened with Chito Vera, it's just that he started to diminish based upon the shots that he's taken. And Sandhagen is a freak when you take a look at and Rob's not a small guy, but at 135, the length of Sandhagen and what he can do, dude's good. He doesn't get enough credit for how good he really is. And so, it's a good fight. It's just not one that I look at Rob Font and I go, that's a hard matchup for you, in my opinion.
Especially on short notice.
Yeah.
Especially on short notice. I mean, I guess you can look at it the other way, though, too. There's kind of a lot of pressure is off. Look, I can get as much camp in as I can for the next 2 weeks and just come in, or next week and a half, and just come in and do the best I can. I get I'm a little cautious about fights like this because Sandhagen definitely was preparing for someone who had good striking, some wrestling involvement and stuff like that, but he was mentally prepared for that mountain that everyone was afraid to climb on. With fighting Umar, mentally he was like, hey, look, this is going to be probably one of my toughest fights. There's not enough information about him. He's got the last name. It's all these little things that people were piling on. Wow, you're fighting that guy. Now you're going to Rob Font, and I think he's just going to feel a little bit more relaxed out there. Like, hey, this guy, I do everything this guy does, and I feel like I do it better. All of it.
Yeah.
So we're gonna see, but you never know, man. Rob's got some power. You know, he's very good. He's mainly boxing centric.
Boxer.
So yeah, mainly boxing, but he's gonna have to get in close.
So was Corey at a time.
Yeah.
At a
Corey's
time,
got good
Corey
knees.
was more.
He's got good
dude.
knees, and he's got good elbows.
He's got good kicks now too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
On the ground, it's not even close. I mean, Corey's the better fighter on the ground too. So it's gonna be it'll be an interesting fight. I'm actually kind of looking forward to seeing it because I think Rob's gonna kind of prove me wrong a little bit. It's gonna be more of a contested fight than I think. We'll see.
Looking forward to
All
it.
right, well then,
What do you got?
That's
let's look at the next fight. Reported fight, not official yet, but we're getting word that Leon Edwards and Colby Covington will square off in Madison Square Garden in November 11th to be exact.
All right, well, whatever. Like this. I mean, we've been waiting long enough for this fight to be announced. I mean, it got.
How long can you wait?
It got to the point where Islam was calling him out, going, "Hey, if you're not going to fight, like, let me get in there." So look, I think this is going to be a good fight. And the other thing is that Leon doesn't have to change anything he's been doing. He's training for a wrestler. He stays training for a wrestler. He's just going to keep getting better training for a wrestler, and then he's going to go out there. And I mean, like you said, the confidence of him being the champion now, believing in himself, understanding that, like, man, I'm this much, I'm 5% better, or I'm 10% better, or 20% better, whatever it is. I mean, I'm a believer. I'm a believer, man. He's talented. He's good. He knows. I don't think he's going to be sleeping on what he's good at. He's going to go out there. He's constantly trying to make himself better. Since the first time I trained with him back at AK a long, long time ago, how much better he's gotten all the way around, you know. And it's you know, it's funny, John, that I didn't know who the hell he was when he came into AK. And I was like sparring with him, and I was like, man, I'm hitting this dude, and he's hitting me. I'm like, man, I was like, dude, you're fucking fast. Who are you? Who is this guy? But damn, then I realized like who he was shortly after. But I didn't know who he was when he came. I was like, all right, whatever, you know. And then then I see him, you know, fighting in the UFC and doing. I'm like, damn, this kid's good. He's got something. So I'm happy for him, man. All of his success, and it couldn't have happened to a nicer guy. He's a nice guy. You know, he is a nice guy. So
that's one of the things. He's one of the nice guys in the sport. He's just a class act. He's a good person, and you wish him the best. But he's going to have his hands full against Colby. Colby's got he's got an engine, and man, he can push the pace, and he's going to try to wrestle him. He's going to try to put him down. I don't think that Leon is going to be as easy to take down as Colby's going to think that he is.
I also think, though, too, is that Colby, he hasn't changed at all in his stand-up. He dips his head to the one side every single time when he throws his jab. He dips his head when he throws his right hand. I'm surprised a lot of the guys that he's fought. I know that the pressure, the tenacity he brings, and the grind, that grind mentality of getting in your face and making you fight off your back foot. But I think Leon is now good enough at stuffing takedowns and getting back up to his feet. And then on top of that, he's just leaps and bounds faster and better than him on the feet. And just I feel like Leon's going to have a little recipe for him when it comes to the uppercuts, knees, push kicks up the middle. I don't know what it's going to be, but the hand speed of Leon mixed in with the kicks, and then the ability to potentially take Colby down too, put Colby on his back. How is Colby getting good? How is Colby getting off of his own back? How is he? I mean, like when he got taken down against Usman, there wasn't a lot of getting up. You know, we've seen that Leon can get takedowns. He can get takedowns. I wouldn't be surprised if he takes Colby down at least once or twice in this fight. It's funny because everyone called me an idiot saying that when I said that Leon was going to potentially take down Usman, and first thing he did was take him down in that first round, and I was like, oh. Wow, shit. Woo. Damn, Thompson's on a roll. But I'm finally glad that they have a date kind of in mind, and hopefully they officially announce this fight here soon because Colby's been sitting on the side just talking trash. I want to see him fight.
No, they need this fight.
I like watching them fight. They need to fight.
They need this fight.
So in the same breath,
Here comes Dave.
Colby's saying
he's chiming in because Colby's Colby's
here
biggest
comes
fan.
Colby's #1 propaganda master here.
Oh yeah.
Come on, Dave.
Colby's saying the reason he's been on the side is because Poirier and Chimaev turned down fights against him. So
Why is he trying to get a fight with Poirier?
You know why he's trying to get a fight with Poirier.
No, he's a 170-pound fighter. Dustin Poirier is a 155-pound fighter. Why are you going after someone that's not even in your weight class?
Hey, John, last time I told you about someone coming down in weight, I was totally right. Okay, Paul Craig just had an amazing performance.
Yeah, okay. Well, let's see Colby Covington get down to 155 then.
He'd easily do that. You know that.
He's talked about. He's talked about it. He's talked about it.
He has.
He's a small 70-pounder.
I don't think he'll do it.
He's not a small 70-pounder. That's a good weight class for him, and he should not drop down.
Dave, you were good. You were on point with the Paul Craig thing. Let's not push it, buddy. Let's just not push it. Stay in your lane. Stick with the Scottish guys. Okay, stick with the Scottish guys. I know you guys have like these like little cans you guys probably talk into to talk to each other still over there. Do you even have cell phones and phones over there? The string? Or are you guys still doing the talk through can shit? Is that what you guys do over there in that third world country? It's like,
hey, if it works, it works. It works. Hey, you always say if it works, it works.
Don't fix it. And if there's one thing I know, Chimaev is not ducking Colby. So
we can't make 70.
Yeah, he can't make 70.
What's that? Now it's the Chimaev can't make 70.
Of course, he's ducking him.
Colby ain't Colby's sitting there saying that Chimaev turned him down. Bullshit.
Yeah.
Bullshit.
Colby's not going to 85. Come on.
I just don't.
Now we can't go to 185.
I don't think
it's okay that Colby calls out a lightweight that wants to fight there, but now it's he shouldn't have to go to 185.
He can call
him out because he can go down. Colby can go up.
Why can't Colby go? Colby can definitely go up.
No, he's too small.
This guy. I love it. I love Dave. About? Dave is the biggest. He's the guys. He is the biggest troll ever. Because podcast Dave is.
Chimaev already screwed in it. Diaz fight by coming in at like freaking 200 pounds at a 70 fight.
There was a guy in World War II named Goebbels who was a propaganda master. Man. You have definitely taken his course.
Oh jeez.
Oh man.
All right. What's the next fight? What else you got for us?
All right, next news story here. Paddy Pimblett was asked about the earlier Tybura fight. He was asked, there was Josh Emmett. He was asked about the performance there, and Paddy kind of went off saying that like, how could you not beat this old guy? Josh is like almost 40. That wasn't a good performance. Blah blah blah. And now Josh Emmett is fired back saying he would go up to lightweight for that fight against Paddy, retirement fight as well. He's saying so. What do you think about that kind of fight? Is Paddy right in saying that wasn't a good performance? Let's get some thoughts.
Go ahead, Josh.
I think Paddy's got to dial it back until he fights again. Like you don't have an opponent lined up. You didn't have a great last fight. Like there's times you got to kind of just dial it back a little bit. Whatever though. But hey,
a little bit.
People love him because he is brash. He does talk and. You know, he fights. He does fight. It just his last fight wasn't a great performance against someone that majority of people thought he lost. And Josh Emmett is a different level than his last opponent. It's just a fact.
I'm just gonna say I like Paddy. I think he's fun to watch. I think he is a good fighter. He's a good but he's got big holes in his game too. Things that he has to shore up when you're gonna move up against guys that have been in there against some of the very best. And I'm going to just, as easy as I can say it, you take a look at both of their resumes, they don't match up.
Not even close.
And Josh Emmett for Paddy Pimblett, if he did go up to 155, it wouldn't affect him at all.
Mm-mm.
And
might actually even help him. Might actually even help him.
Sometimes you be careful what you might be wishing for. That might be a bad nightmare.
He wouldn't take that fight though, John. And the UFC wouldn't offer him that fight because Josh is on his way out and Paddy's on his way in, and they're really trying to make money with Paddy. So
I know.
the UFC is not going to offer him that fight. This is all just us just talking the news. This shit ain't ever going to happen, guys. It's like us talking about, MVP versus Stephen Thompson may actually happen now. But,
No, that one
you
could
know,
happen.
for us to say other fighters, you know, to potentially cross over and fight each other, whether it be Bellator and PFL and ONE and UFC, and this shit ain't ever going to happen. So this fight is not going to happen. They need to keep the golden goose, Paddy Pimblett, making him money. They're going to keep giving him the fights that will keep him in the win column, or try the best to give him fights to keep him in the win column. And Josh Emmett is going to probably have a tough, hard fight next, and that might be his retirement fight or not. Whatever's up to him. But they're not offering him Paddy Pimblett. Let's just be honest, everybody.
Yeah, I would think not.
What else you got, Dave?
All right, let's wrap up on this one. Sorry, actually, let's do one more news story here. Rampage Jackson saying he's going to come out of retirement to fight Daryl Schoonover. John, you know who that is from Tough, right?
Yep.
Well, I'm glad John knows who he is. I don't know who the hell he is.
If you go back to when Rampage, he was coaching against, I want to say it was Rashad.
Mm-hmm.
And they had heavyweights. Daryl Schoonover was a guy that he nicknamed Titties, and kind of tortured him. And I don't know. I just look at this as, you know, if this is something, first off, why is Rampage, you know, why is he going to be fighting? We saw him in his last fight was against Fedor. You know, he wasn't in shape for that one. I have seen that Rampage has gotten himself back into fairly good shape. Good for him. But, you know, this fight, I'm going to tell you right now too. I know, just being honest, Daryl Schoonover is not a putz. The guy can fight. He may not look good, but he can fight.
Dave, look this guy up. Look this guy.
And I'm telling you right, you know,
I remember
Quentin
titties.
Quentin is slow.
Yeah. I mean, I remember the name Titties. I remember that. Let me see this guy. Let me see. Can you give me a better picture? He's 14 and 8.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can see that he doesn't, you know, even through that picture.
Oh, yeah.
He's
I remember him
not
now. I do remember him.
There you go.
Yeah, I remember him.
But he can fight. The
He was
guy's not
tough.
a bad fighter.
Yeah, he was tough. Yeah. He fought Jason Jardine. Is that Jardine? No.
Keith Jardine?
Keith Jardine.
No, I don't
Jason.
think so.
Did I say Jason? Jesus
I don't
Christ,
think
Josh. Jeez.
I don't think so.
Oh, man. Well, I guess we're going to see. I don't know why he'd be fighting. I don't know why Quinn would be fighting, man. I mean,
I don't either.
you know, but we'll see.
Quinn's got that.
We will see.
I want to say, what is it? United Fighting Federation or something that he's part of now with Frank Mir and Tito Ortiz.
I heard about that. Yeah, I heard.
He's got something he's doing. So maybe he's trying to get that fight done there.
Good for
I'm
them.
going to try to help build something there, but I don't know.
Hey, you want to find ways to burn money really fast? Start a fucking MMA promotion. Let me just tell you.
Hello.
Man, when there was a moment where when the UFC got rid of the 55-pound division, you know, I had some money saved up from previous stuff and plus the money that I made from the UFC and stuff like that. And I was talking with Javier Mendez and Bob Cook about, I was like, you know, start a small little MMA promotion, you know, see if I can build it and, you know, build it up and this and that. And I was going to do shows in San Jose. Scott Coker calls Javier and goes, he's not doing any shows in San Jose. I was like, Scott Coker sits me down and goes, look, I'll give you an option. You can sign with me when I start Strikeforce and I'll keep you busy doing kickboxing fights. He's like, or you can just not sign with me. He's like, and I can just shut your promotion down every time you do a show. I'll do a show. I was like, all right, I got it, buddy. I got it.
Well,
I'll sign with you. He's
Hold on. I'm going to think this over for a long time.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Where's the contract? and he was paying me a lot. And that was kind of cool, which I liked about it. He was paying me almost starting off already paying me double what I was making in the UFC, you know, for those fights. And so that was considered a lot of money. And I was like, what am I going to do? Burn through all the money I already have to start a MMA promotion? I don't even know what the fuck I'm doing. Just hoping for the best. You know, I knew Bob and Hav would help me, but it was going to be uphill battle from the get is what it was going to be. A lot of money out. So, Anyways,
I'm all for someone starting an MMA promotion as long as it's with somebody else's money. If it's my friend, don't do it.
It wasn't going to be with someone else's money. It was going to be with my money. I was like, man, thank God I didn't do that.
Because back then you had like 5.6, 5.7, $5,600, $5,700 in the bank.
Yeah, right. All right, what else? There's one more story. There's a little like, there we go. What do you got for us?
A fun video right here. Let's watch this fun video. Audio listeners, you make sure you explain it to them. What's going on.
Yeah. I don't know what promotion this is. I don't know what promotion this is, but the guy comes out like and he's going to touch hands, doesn't touch hands, throws the head kick, and boom, it's over. Kind of a dick move to do, but...
Yeah, but totally legal.
Totally legal. And like I said... Go ahead, John.
This is where you tell guys, hey, when I say, fight, I tell you, let's get it on, whatever the guy's going to say, fight started. You want to go out and touch hands, that's on you. If he cracks you, don't sit there and complain. I started the fight.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah, those of you guys watching on YouTube and those of you guys listening to us, but I mean, like I said earlier, you can see right there in the center of the canvas is OnlyFans trying to really kind of make a splash into the MMA and combat sports arena, as well as Formula One racing, NASCAR also. Like, they're doing their best to try and get more sports active. So make sure you guys subscribe to us over at onlyfans.com/weighing-in. But yeah, this is a beautiful head kick. Nice placement. The guy reaches out to touch hands, but also reaches out to block the kick, and it skirts right around it, and boom. But that's going to wrap up our show. Shin to the chin. I liked Rogan's when he said shin to the dome, but shin to the chin is also very good because that was actually to the chin. That was very good, John. Wow. Look at you putting things together. You sure you're ready to be dropping some bars. Maybe you and Dave could start a band or something, or a group or whatever it's called. But before we bounce out of here, I want you guys to go to weighingInMerch.com, pick up some of our apparel there. weighingInMerch.com, pick up some of our merch is available there, so check it out. See if there's anything you guys like. If you guys buy something, post a picture of you guys wearing it, and we'd love and tag us on it. We'd love to repost and share that you guys are supporting us. We want to thank you guys so much. And John, take us away, bud.
Everyone out there, hope you enjoyed the UFC from London, and stay tuned for the next Weighing In podcast, which will be coming soon. We'll see you.